carry on to the second part of grammar mistake that we need to avoid in writing part. So let's start the first one. So many times we can say the trains, or no, only the 20% of the chart, of the pie chart. In this case, we don't use any article before the number of the percentage. Second one, the same percentage of it's not correct in this case of, because if you remember, the object A is same as object B. So in this case, remember that same as blah blah as is physics expression. Next one is large number of time. Of course, we can say a number each of time. In this case, we need to say a large amount of time because it's uncountable noun. But if you want to say so a large amount of time, a large amount of fat, a large amount, okay, is for uncountable nouns. And then let's go back. If you wanted to say a large number of, instead of using uncountable nouns, in this case, you need to use countable nouns. So in this case, we could say a large number of people, a large number of species, a large number of extinctions, and so on. The fourth, right? We can say covering what? Covering 20%. We need to say accounting for, or corresponding to. So for instance, in this graph we had right here is like 20%. So we could say is covering the environment, the range of unemployment, of female unemployment is covering 20%. We cannot say there's no English like that. So the correct answer is the unemployment female, the range of unemployment the female unemployment, the range of unemployment female is accounting for 20% or corresponding to 20%. So basically we can say tasso di occupazione as the range of unemployment, but we need to say tasso di occupazione femminile as female unemployment rate, right, is accounting for 20%, or the female unemployment rate is corresponding to 20%. And as I said before, that we don't usually say more and more for writing essay. So for writing, you need to say is like to increasingly in develop or something like that. So it's very similar for millions and millions. It's very colloquial. So in this case, we don't say millions and millions of something, animal species, but we need to say what? A huge number, number of, or hundred, remember ed, hundred of millions with double L, millions of. Or we got also the third options is like countless, millions of something. So remember, be aware of a count with N, a million with double L, and hundred with ED, hundred of millions with S. Right, next one. So it could be, now it's like 6. Which difference between impressive and remarkable? Well, both of these words, both impressive and remarkable, both have positive meaning. So if you wanted to use a different meaning, we can change a little bit. For instance, instead of saying accounting for an impressive percentage of 20%, we can say accounting for a dramatic. So it's more negative, since a dramatic percentage of 20%. On the other hand, if you wanted to say a remarkable, also suppose remarkable traits, a remarkable trait. What is mean trait? Well, trait is like from Cambridge Dictionary say that a suggestion that something unpleasant or violent will happen, especially if a particular action or order is not followed. Well, so in this case, we can, instead of remarkable trait, we should say significant traits, or considerable straight. Right, last thing that we're going to do is the figure will almost double until 2014 or 2013. First of all, will almost about is certain, but if you wanted to describe something, it couldn't be certain for future. So instead of will, we need to say or The data, no, the figures are predicted to or expected to. Instead, use will, which is certain. So for in this case, for the future, we are not certain. So it's more, it's better use are predicted to or are expected to. But of course, if you wanted to use will, you can say it is expected that the figures will almost double.